So whoever makes the most noise gets some socks. You ready for it? Give it a huge applause! Come on, one more. Where are the ladies? Only the ladies. The ladies! Yeah, okay. Nice. Alright, we got some more for later. But wait, no, keep standing. No. Alright, so, who's on fire? You're good, I like that. So, but when I say who's on fire, you're going to say I'm on fire, alright? Who's on fire? I love it. Actually, like what I'm telling you today, I stole everywhere. So all these are the best nuggets, the gold nuggets that I found in my short life. But I want to pass it on to you. So, could the first row, no. The first row turn around to the back. And now you scream and ask them, who's on fire? All right, 3, 2, 1. Who's on fire? Oh, come on, ladies. We can't start the talk if we don't get this right. So the first part, that's, okay. Okay, you're gonna say, who's on fire? And then you're gonna say, I'm on fire. And ideally, you mean it, alright? Like from the bottom of your heart, you say like, who's on fire? I'm on fire. Because if you do this now, whenever you have a workshop or anything that needs to have some fun, you know how it's done, right? So let's practice a little bit. So, you start. 3, 2, 1. Who's on fire? Okay, I think you can do it better. So now you ask them, alright? 3, 2, 1. Who's on fire? I'm on fire! Perfect! Thank you so much! Alright, super awesome. I have one more thing. Right, I have one more thing. So so I know Bart from university. We went to university together, and I want to surprise him, right? So later, when I'm going to ask you anywhere, either like tonight at 1 o'clock at night or in an hour, when I'm going to ask you sprints and sneakers, and you say sneakers, alright? You will know that, right? You know that, that would be awesome. Sprints and sneakers! Okay, very good. Cool. Remember that for later. Awesome. Whew. Alright, let's get started. So, people tell me that I am very lucky. I don't think so. I'm not lucky. I'm just very enthusiastic. And that helps me a lot in life because it gets the ball rolling, it gets people motivated. And I want to share with you some of the insights or things that I do, and maybe that will help you because in everything that you want to achieve in life, you need to be enthusiastic about it. And because if you are not, then nobody else will care about it, right? So that's the first thing to do. I have the best job in life, best job in the world, because I help people to build startups at the TU at the Unternehmertum. So for the last 10 years, I've been building startup and tech innovations from the Hyperloop to lots of VC-funded startups. Well, I'm going to share some secrets with you, and I hope you're not going to keep them, but spread them and tell them further. This is me, actually. I didn't start off that way. I was actually, so my parents had a sausage restaurant, and they were going from carnival to carnival, traveling the region. I had to work if I wanted to see my parents. I went to school, but at school they didn't accept me as like one of them because I was traveling. At the same time, the people who was traveling didn't accept me because I was a kid that went to school. So it was kind of tough, and I was told a lot, you can't do that. Like, it's not gonna work, like, you can't do that. Like, I said, like, I wanna go and study at university. And people were like, never gonna happen. So early on, like, my biggest motivation in life was to prove them wrong. And I think you need to find your story of that. Like, what is your biggest motivation? What's your driver? My driver was like, I'm going to prove them wrong. And, well, today I'm building prototypes and software for BMW, SAP, and German ministries. For the last 10 years, I've helped to build Munich as a top tech startup hub in Europe. I've hosted hackathons with up to 500 people. I do a lot of design sprints, a lot of awesome prototypes. And it all starts with enthusiasm. Yes, exactly. And it's really interesting because that's like a superpower that many people don't have, and it's super easy. And I'll tell you how you can maybe become more enthusiastic. My why in life is I bring people together to make things happen, and to make awesome stuff happen. And, well, this meeting with colleagues a few years ago, where you see like the Hyperloop on the left-hand side, but also a robot in the middle, and some VR glasses and so on. So we were really like, since 8 years, building awesome, cool tech stuff. And when I first went to find collaborators for the Hyperloop, who of you knows the Hyperloop? Okay, who of you doubt? Okay. So the Hyperloop, so the Hyperloop is a concept by Elon Musk, and it basically says, if you put a train in a vacuum and you have magnetic train lines, then you can travel from Munich to Berlin in 20 minutes. Well, it's a crazy idea, right? But there are actually people that believed in it. And I was one of them, but I didn't find anybody else, except these two. So that's actually a picture of our first meeting, and they were just some students. Now, they won all the contests in a row, like it became a really big movement. But it all started with like 3 people like believing in the idea and saying, okay, fuck it, let's do it. And now it actually became its own faculty. They built a faculty at the TU Munich around the Hyperloop. So it's all about the first follower. Have you heard of this concept? A little bit, maybe. If you look, there's one of my favorite TED talks of all time. It's called How to Start a Movement. And it's crazy because you just need to have the first followers. Whenever you want to have a party, you need to have the first ones to start dancing with you, to turn you as a lone nut into a crowd and into a party, right? So actually it's about the first one, second one, in order to get anything done. If I want you to clap, or if I want you to stand up, like if I get like a few people standing up, like others will follow, right? So that's also really important if you think about it yourself. Have you ever started a clap in an audience? Have you ever been the first one? So can you start right now? Yay! Exactly. We do this way too little. Like at the main stage before, like I was there, I was like really anxious because I wanted to clap. I wanted to celebrate them, I wanted to like cheer them up, right? So by doing that, if you start a movement, if you just start clapping and then get a first one, get a second one to join in, then suddenly it becomes a movement, right? And that's what it's all about. If you look about growth in your company or personal growth, you need to start and get your first followers. And then it becomes contagious. Okay, so that's me as well. On the right-hand side with the Indiana head, Indiana feathers. That's actually the CEO of our company and 500 people in front of us. And they all just raised their phone, turned on the lights, and it was like Tomorrowland. I've never been there, but I really want to go, but this is on my bucket list, and I checked it off. Well, so the thing is, like, I told my boss back then, I want to have a Burning Man and a hackathon. I want to build prototypes, but in a really creative environment. And well, it wasn't really Burning Man, but we had a few artworks, but not so much. And then he told me, like, Philip, you didn't make it. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, there was not Burning Man. I was like, Yeah, but the vision motivated other people to join in and they get the picture. And even if we just had 5 or 6 really cool artworks outside, it's already moon landing. If you shoot for the stars and you land at the moon, it's awesome, right? So again, like storytelling really is really important, and to convey your message. And yeah, if you fail, if you fall short, then that's still a big dream and you still really well. Okay, you have to create a movement, and you have to start small, and you have to start simple, but most importantly, you have to start now. Okay? So, in order for you to practice that, could you all stand up again, please? I'm so sorry. All right, please look around. Please look around at the other people around you. Do you know, like, do you all know each other? Who knows more than 2 people here? Okay, more than 3? More than 4? Okay, well, more than 10. Okay, you will know everybody. Okay, cool. All right, great. So let's practice to start a movement. Let's practice enthusiasm as well, because it's proven biologically that if you smile, you become more happy. Can you smile for me? Like really hard, like a lot? Can you feel it? It's not just a deal. Can you turn around to someone else? Can you turn around to someone else and give them just a high five, please? Yes, perfect. Great. Come on, Nice. It's contagious, right? If you're laughing or if you're in a good mood, it's contagious. So you can also give your neighbor a hug if you want to, but maybe later as well. All right, thank you so much. Yes, spread some love. Perfect. So we're going to do another exercise in a minute, because Bart once asked me an interesting question. And he said, Philip, if you had $1 billion, what would you do? And I shouldn't tell my boss, but my boss wouldn't have to tell me for the job that I'm doing, because I really love what I'm doing. And I want more people to find what they love, what they're doing. But first you have to figure out what it is. So for example, if I would have $1 billion, I would still love to work with young people to challenge the status quo, to build prototypes and make something happen, like just build something. What is something that you really enjoy? Can you close your eyes and like just think back in time, like what's something in your past that you really enjoyed doing and you would love to do it every day for the rest of your life? Do you have something? Yeah? So now I'm asking you, what's keeping you from doing it? And I don't mean like drinking beer or yoga or surfing. Like these things don't count. Yeah, what was it? What do you want to do? What do you want to do in life? Alright, cool. Think about, we will come back to that. We'll come back to it, but yeah, think about what's keeping you from doing it. Because when Bart first asked me, I was like, oh, I'm going to go surfing in the morning, then I'm going to do yoga, then I'm going to do, walk at the beach, and then I'll go to bed. But I found out that's not it. Like, we actually lived in Barcelona together. We studied in Barcelona together, and we could have done all that, but we didn't do it, right? Not every day. But what I'm saying is like, think about like what you would really love to do without, if money was no object. That really helps me to be enthusiastic every day. This guy recently changed my life again, even better. Do you know this guy? No? He's the former CEO of Volkswagen. His name is Herbert Dies. And he was sitting in the cafeteria, and I just went up to him and asked him, like, how can I help you? And he's like, what? And Volkswagen is like the biggest or the most important German industrial company. And suddenly, like, he said, have a seat. Like, in the beginning, like, he didn't really want to talk to me. But then when I asked him, like, okay, what are you interested in? What do you want? What do you need? How can I help you? He started talking, and then we had a conversation for half an hour. And then he actually said, I want to do an event at the Entrepreneurship Center, and you're going to host it. And I was like, okay. Basically, you sold what I wanted you to do in the first place, which was great. But it was only because I asked him, what are you interested in? How can I help you? I think most of the time, like, it's all about, like, what's in it for me. I think that's a typical German thing, like, or maybe also European, I don't know. But I lived some time in Israel, and then it was never about what's in it for me, but more about how can I help you? Hey, you should meet that person, or you should do this and that. So it's more about giving, which will help you a lot more in the long run. Well, because after this meeting, what happened? Like, a few other things similar in nature, but my boss said, Philip, you're doing so many things on the side next to your job, why don't you just do what you want? And I was like, what? And he said, yeah, just do what you want. Like, that's cool. Like, I believe you can do, like, you really create value. Just do what you do. And I was like, okay. And now basically I can do whatever I want. And it's, so far it's very good. we've done a women hackathon at Google. We've done startup co-founder hackathons. And I just do what I believe is right. So imagine if your boss wouldn't tell you what to do, but rather would say, do what you want. What would you do? Would you do something different? Yeah, maybe? Yes? Yes? Okay. So now, I would love for you to ask someone else and to pay it forward and ask them, how can I help you? So let's take like 5 minutes and you stand up and then like face the person behind you or in front of you and just ask them, find out like one thing that you can help each other with. Alright? 5 minutes? Alright, let's go. Could you sit down, please? Yes, have a seat, please. Have a seat, please. Let's continue this conversation a minute. Have a seat, please. Okay, who already found something to help your neighbor? Yeah? Alright, cool. Yes, you as well. What about the rest? Did you learn something interesting? Yes? Alright, perfect. Great. So we have 5 minutes, so let's wrap this up. I want to share with you my key learnings for enthusiasm. Like, why am I like super enthusiastic every day? I wake up and I'm like, let's go. First of all, enthusiasm is energy. Energy means traction. So whatever you want to do in life, don't be the observer. Don't be the victim, be the doer. Be someone that does something, that creates action, that triggers something in a movement, right? So that's in your best interest. Do something. Next up, I have a secret, and you have a secret, and you should be curious about it. Are you curious? So when I walk on stage, I'm like, I know something, I have something that you should really know. Like, there are some awesome things, methods, tools that you should know about. That's what brings my energy when I come on stage. People ask me like, why are you so motivated? I'm like, I know something, or I want to do something, and it's gonna be super awesome. You just don't know it yet. So they're like, okay, wow. But it works. And the same about you. So if I go to a party, I'm like, who are you? Like, what's something about you that, I don't know, makes you tick, that we could do something together? I want to find out who are you, what makes you you, in order to, do something together or create something together. So that's what I mean with, you have a secret that I have to find out, right? That's my mindset, and that should be, or could be your mindset as well. Praise other people. I think that's the most underrated or underdone thing in the world. I love celebrating people. I love, if you did something great, I will tell you about it, I will talk to you about it. And I think that's great because people also pay back the favor. And it's cool to say, hey, you've done a great job. Like, you should do that more. It creates enthusiasm. Again, like what we said earlier, how can I help you? This should be on your mind all the time. Then you're responsible for every moment of your life. If you go to a party and you say the party's boring, you're wrong, because you're boring. You should own the room, you have to own the moment. If you're not in a good mood, change it. Don't blame other people for it, right? So it's all up to you, how you feel, and like, don't ever blame anything else, because you are responsible for everything. Be remarkable. Be worth making a remark about. So whenever you do something, think of, okay, how can I make this even better? How can I make this cooler? How can I make it special? I don't know, that's a talk by Seth Godin. He says, be remarkable, be worth making a remark about. And that really triggers something with me that's like, it helps other people to tell a story. Like, hey, have you seen this talk? This weird guy in the Lederhosen? Or, I don't know, have something special. Be vulnerable. I just told you that I grew up on a carnival, and like I actually got beaten up by the carnival people, and like many other people that I know don't know that. I think Bart doesn't even know that. So it makes you relatable and makes you, I think, more authentic as well. Then number 8, say yes. Say yes a lot. So Bart asked me, do you want to give a talk? And I was like, yes. And yesterday was, fuck. But right now, I'm really happy and really glad I did it. So thank you for this opportunity, Bart. I really appreciate it. It's really fun. Ask yourself, what if? We always ask what could go wrong, but imagine what could go right? What if it's 100 times better than you imagine? So be a dreamer, not a, dream bigger. Like, That sounds really, you know what I mean? Everybody's always doubting and saying, what could go wrong? My wife is the worst. She's always thinking, like, oh, this could go wrong, this could go wrong. I'm like, no, think of it. Let's get to the next point. Okay, I think what's really important as well is know yourself and know your stories. Like, you always need to have an origin story, so who are you, where do you come from? Then your claim to fame, like what have you done that made you who you are right now, like in order to, like, and then lastly, the third story is a vision story. Where do you want to go, right? Like, where do you want to take this? I told you my origin story of being on Carnival. I told you about my claim to fame, like at the Entrepreneurship Center, building prototypes and so on. Now I still owe you a story, and that's a vision story. And I want to spread our best practices from the music ecosystem, startup ecosystem in Germany and in Europe. And it all starts with enthusiasm. I think we should be more enthusiastic and more optimistic and so many other things, because that's all the source of action, right? Love what you do, be obsessed with it. If you wake me up in the middle of the night, I could give a talk about pitching or anything, because I'm really obsessed with these things. There's one last thing. It's an experiment. So it's thank you so much, Bart. So I told you about enthusiasm and starting a movement, that this is like really daring and it takes some guts. But you can help me to make a dream come true for Bart, like the first time in his life, and maybe for you too, if you wait for a minute, then you can join us as well. But first, for now, I need this row of strong men over there. Please come to the first row. We need some more strong people here. And you need to stand up. And you need some... No, not yet. We need some music. So I told Bart that at my events, at the hackathons, we regularly do stage diving. And he's like, no fucking way, that doesn't work. And I was like, Bart, watch me. Can we make it happen? Thank you! Alright, awesome. Alright, cool. Yes. So Max, we need to come here on the chest with you.